While Konami has been cooking up Yu-Gi-Oh cards with more and more text, more and more powerful effects, creeping the power of the average card forward, one aspect of Yu-Gi-Oh has remained completely stagnant. Despite being one of the most iconic features of a Yu-Gi-Oh monster, the attack points of monsters have been kept safe from the clutches of Konami design creep. In fact, ever since the release of Gene Warped Werewolf in 2007's Strike of Neos, the glass ceiling for level 4 monsters has remained at 2000. Even the most meta-warping normal summons of the modern era adhere to this precedent. But if Konami were willing to give powerful effects to weaker monsters, what if they turned the tables and gave the strongest soldiers a few glaring weaknesses? It all began with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game's second set, Metal Raiders, back in 2002, where Jirai Gumo would be the first base-boosted 4-star. With an attack line of 2200, Jirai Gumo easily cleared the strongest level 4 normal summons of his time, like 7 Colored Fish, by an incredible 400 attack points. To achieve this, Konami had to include a trade-off, as Jirai Gumo had the effect that, when this card declares an attack, toss a coin and call it. If you call it wrong, lose half your life points. Moving up one attacks bracket, we have Armor EXE, with a record 2400 attack points. His abnormally high attack points make more sense when you realize he is in fact a Magic the Gathering runaway, since unlike most Yu-Gi-Oh monsters, Armor EXE has summoning sickness, in that this card cannot attack in the same turn it is normal summoned, flip summoned, or special summoned. That's not all, however, as during each of your and your opponent's standby phases, remove one spell counter on your side of the field, and if you can't, destroy this card. But if you're looking for something a little bit more generic, look no further than Chainsaw Insect. Also sporting 2400 attack points, Chainsaw Insect has the downside that, if this card battled, at the end of the damage step, your opponent draws one card. A completely generic tool for high damage. Though if we go completely in the opposite direction, we can find the single highest attack point level 4 monster who can be normal summoned in Giant Kozaki. With the harrowing effect, if there is no face-up Kozaki on the field, destroy this card. If this face-up card is destroyed, inflict damage equal to the original attack of this card to its current controller. And with Kozaki being a wimpy 400/400 normal monster, you gotta commit the extra deck space and a summon just for the opportunity to take 2500 to the face. But not all high attack monsters are irredeemably bad. Goblin Attack Force is a fan favorite monster, whose 2300 attack is bound up in a fairly benign, if this card attacks, it is changed to defense position at the end of the battle phase, and its battle position cannot be changed until the end phase of your next turn. This makes the monster closer in kin to a removal spell, where it bonks one monster and then dies peacefully in its sleep. In fact, Goblin Attack Force is more or less an archetype of big Bungus hitters and quitters, including the likes of Goblin Elite Attack Force, who shares an identical effect to OG Goblin Attack Force, but comes equipped with 1500 more defense points, but unfortunately 100 less attack points. And of course, Toon Goblin Attack Force, who combines the negatives of being a Goblin Attack Force squad with the standard Toon restrictions of not being able to attack the turn they are summoned, as well as requiring Toon World to operate at above a 3rd grade level, all for the benefit of being able to bonk your opponent directly before resigning to a quiet life of 0 defense. There is another category of normal summonable beaters. See, so far we've mostly focused on level 4 monsters since, according to the rules of engagement in Yu-Gi-Oh, you can only normal summon level 4 or lower monsters without tributing. But with the power of card text, some monsters can screw the rules. For example, Beast King Barbaros is a level 8 monster with the text, you can normal summon/set this card without tributing, but its original attack becomes 1900. So technically, he's a monster with 3000 attack that can be normal summoned, whose original attack is technically 1900. But we can go even further beyond, as the card in Knight Express Knight is a level 10 monster with the identical, you can normal summon this card without tributing, but its original attack becomes 0. Of course, the sacred combo is to use cards like Skill Drain to restore these monsters to their original glory, while stymieing those pesky power-crept monsters, thinking they can leave us attack point truthers behind. In truth, there are tons of normal summonable monsters with over 2,000 attack, each with different flavors of awful. If you've got a favorite, let me know down in the comments or on my Twitter, and we can spread the attack point propaganda against our card effect oppressors.